was do 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 do. I didn't see you guys there, but welcome to Free World Radio. As you can see, I got one of my favorite cartoon characters on today, Uno Nigel from Kids Next Door, the greatest Kids Next Door operative. But today we're not talking about Kids Next Door and we're not talking about cartoon nonsense. Today we're here for the grown folks. Today we're here for the people that sit down on Sunday mornings, afternoons, and yes, y'all know what time it is. It is football season again. Everybody's excited, but today's interview, it's going to bring you into the limelight. It's going to bring you into another scope. And no, I'm not talking about like Shannon Sharp or nothing like that. No. We're not going that deep. But there is a woman here that I'd like to introduce y'all to that is going to rock your world when it comes to sports, and that is Miss Jocelyn Thomas. Give it up for her, please. Go ahead and take our seats real quick. Man, PJ, shout out to you. I was expecting like the full 9 yards with ESPN. He gave you the drum line intro.
I'm honored with the intro.
Well, let's start with the basics. Please tell the Free World family who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Jocelyn Thomas. A lot of people will probably know me on social media as Jocelyn Knows Sports, because I do. I actually do a lot of different things, but I work in the sports industry, and right now the most important thing that I'm doing is shining a light as a media broadcaster, which I have not been able to be on in front of the scenes in a while with the sports world. But these young ladies down at the Alabama State University, HBCU, stand up, because October is about HBCUs.
There we go.
But they have a D1 women's collegiate flag football team, which is the only one in the country, and they're going into their second season. So not only am I impressed of the legacy that these young ladies are leaving, I'm honored that I get a chance to be a part of it.
That's what I'm talking about. And you said they're the only one in the country?
Only one.
So I have to ask you, who do they play?
You're not the first person to ask me that. So it becomes a unique situation when you're the only D1 school, and not to get too, I guess, like in the weeds of some people who don't follow sports, but there are different tiers of football teams and or athletics in general.
Okay.
At the collegiate level, so they play more of a D3 type school. So teams that maybe not be as ranked as high as them, but not necessarily not as talented. It's just that the athletes probably aren't getting like full ride scholarships to go.
That's still pretty cool that they're still finding people to play. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what the culture is all about. Finding a way to make it happen.
Hello.
And I promise you, if one of these women go pro, that's it.
So there are a lot of different levels of women's flag football.
Please explain to us.
And they have it for the youth, which is actually sponsored by the NFL, which is pretty cool.
That's what I'm talking about.
They have women's tackle football. They have a United States women's flag football international league. There's actually 2 players from that league that are from Florida, so I'm pretty excited about that. You got one from Duval, and then you got another young.
Duval.
You got to shout out Jacksonville for that win last night. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta always shout out Jacksonville.
And I think another young lady's from Tampa.
Nice.
So no shade to Tampa. They just don't get the same,
Tampa. Y'all hear how that sounds? All right, we're gonna slide past that. So before we start covering that, sir, because I see you're really excited to get into that.
Oh, yes.
Please tell us a little bit more about you. Where are you from? How'd you get your start? Honestly, what makes you you?
Whew, that last question, I don't know. I might have to get my therapist in here.
No.
Okay.
Well. All right, I am a shrink.
Well, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama, so shout out to Montgomery, Alabama, a.k.a. The Gump.
Gump.
That is a reason why I'm so passionate about this project.
Okay.
So not only do I get a chance to highlight women's flag football, which obviously, I'm a big sports savant, and I'm always empowering women's sports, But as a native of Montgomery, Alabama, it gives me the chance to shine a light on my hometown.
There you go.
It's a HBCU. Obviously, I might be a lot of things, but every day, I don't know if they notice, I'm black.
You know, can't scrub it off. We can't cover it up.
It's who I am all day, every day.
It's just something we got to live with every day.
Yeah, so the passion there, a lot of it is driven from being from Montgomery, Alabama. I left home a long time ago. I won't say how long ago, but a little minute ago, as I joined the military. Right, so I am a combat veteran, actually, recently retired.
What y'all know how I feel about this sometimes. Hold on.
I told you before we start, I'm a jack of all trades.
Hold on, chat. We gotta see it. What's your well, first off, what service? What
Is there more than one service?
Army, Navy.
I'm just kidding, Army.
I just got it. Yeah.
Shout out to all the Army soldiers out there.
Big whore.
Yeah.
Big whore.
Big whore. Gigantic one.
What was your MOS?
So I was actually a logistics officer by trade.
You went the smart way. That's what I'm talking about. Don't let the Army take advantage of you. I'm not mad at you for it. Everybody here knows if you've seen Free World Radio, you heard some of the turmoil and just some of the nastiness the military does. It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
You know, some people signed up for that Camaro and now they can't even drive.
Some of them get a Charger.
You know, some people get a Prius, but you know, the point of this is you went on the officer side. Now you didn't get to see most of the enlisted.
So I actually did half and half.
Oh, talk about it.
So I spent, well, you know what, I'll speak my age. I'm not ashamed of how old I am. I did 20 years active duty military.
Y'all stand up for that.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Y'all stand up for that. That's what I'm talking about.
So I did half my time enlisted, half my time commissioned. Some people call that a Mustang.
We call that a level up. I don't care what nobody says.
But that's the term we use, like slang, Mustang. You did half and half.
Nice.
So I think it gave me. I know you asked a lot about my upbringing. I think it really kind of shaped who I am because it definitely showed me blue collar work before I put the white collar on. It gave me a balance of both. And I think that's just kind of how I live my life. Like, I don't want anything handed to me because I've had to work for everything. And that kind of helps me balance how I live life now.
What rank were you when you went from enlisted to officer?
I was a sergeant first class. So I was a decent rank on the enlisted side.
She had the right leadership. And she chose to go officer, Lord. I'm not mad, Lord. I'm just... So I got out. I was a 31 Echo.
Okay.
I was military police.
I know what a 31 Echo is.
Good times, bad times. I ended up getting out as an E5 though.
Okay.
So that was I did 7 years.
You be proud of that. Ain't no shame in none of that.
But I had to tear up because I know a lot of sergeant first classes that went officer and they were the best captains, majors, lieutenant colonels.
I like to think that helped me to, one, I think it makes you more relatable to the formation.
Ooh.
Because, like, one, ain't nobody about to put none over my head because I done did everything.
Nah, we didn't.
I done did everything.
Like, you already know the ins and outs. Like, you went from being a private, now you was like, what excuse is there?
Yeah, play with somebody else, please.
Ooh.
Yes, but it became political, so it was like, I'm going to either make a change to make it make sense for me in the long run, or I'm going to stay on the route that I was. But equal both times meant something to me. The people, the assignments. I mean, I got to be a platoon sergeant multiple times, operations sergeant multiple times. I got to be a commander multiple times. So I love the fact that it never took leadership away. And I think leadership is universal.
Yeah.
And that's also something that helps shape who I am.
A lot of people don't understand leadership. You don't have to be born with it. You just have to accept the amount of work it takes. Now, some of it takes a lot longer. You know, it's just some leaders out there that we got to question. But at the end of the day, leadership is something that you build on. And literally your journey, I can see that you took one brick and you were just like, nah, that ain't enough. Boom, you built another layer till you're where you're at now. And I must say,
appreciate that.
once again, clap it up for you. Clap it up for you.
I appreciate that.
I come from a military background myself, like with my family and stuff. So when I see, I don't want to say the older generation, because that's kind of, it's not disrespectful, but it's definitely.
Okay, you taking me down a path. Let me see where you're going. Take me through there. Take me through there.
So when the older generation has done things that us as the younger generation are either going through or like we will have to go through, it's empowering because y'all have already done it. And y'all seeing, and from your stories and your experience when y'all pass that down, a lot of people don't understand that's what makes the journey worth it, because you're seeing other people do it and they're sitting there telling you, you can do it too.
Yeah.
You could do it too. And that's what I want the free world audience to understand, that just because you're given one path of life does not mean you have to go down that path. Always remember, there is another way. Are you willing to put in the hard work, the sacrifices to go down that path?
Message.
Wait, what are the kids doing nowadays?
Clock that T. You better clock that T.
You took me down memory lane with
Well,
that
I'm
one.
glad. I always, it's so interesting when people ask me my story, because I'm on a different type of platform now where I talk a lot more. It's very not selective, but it's a lot for me to pull out the bag, because I've lived so many different lives, and to be honest, all of them have made me who I am, and all of them structure how I treat people, how I expect from people, how I pour into people. So it's sometimes I'll leave some out the story. It's not intentional, but when you've lived a very full life,
Can't tell you everything.
you forget,
You cannot tell
because
everything.
it becomes routine to you, whereas like to someone else, it reflect on how this could possibly help someone else.
I love that for you.
Thank you.
I genuinely love that for you. So my next question is, when did you start with sports and you had a full life in the military? Now that's another question I have.
So this is to be honest, I started with sports my whole life. Remember back when I was 6 or 7 years old. Like I used to play ball back in the day. I was a baller too. Now not so
Mean
much.
crossover.
Life be life. I ain't got it like I used to. But I used to hoop back in the day. When I was like 6 or 7, I remember asking my mother if I could stay up late and watch the NBA Finals. Like that's how long I've been a sports fan. And in the military, it actually was the common denominator for me. You know, I said leadership has different looks, different avenues. Not military. Sports is like a universal connector.
It is.
Right? It didn't matter what color I was. It didn't matter my gender. It didn't matter my age. I was always able to connect with my formation from sports, whether we were watching the Army versus Navy game, whether we were watching the Super Bowl together. I think my last tour of Afghanistan, I had a very young group. I used to work mortuary affairs. So it's a dark job. But we used to have 2K tournaments and Madden tournaments, and that made me relatable to the soldiers, because I played every day, every tournament, and a lot of them is their first time away from home for Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, different holidays, and it made us a family. It seemed like such a small thing there, but it always stuck in my mind that no matter what diversity was, sports connected everyone, and I love that feeling.
I'm not mad at that. But let's get on the main topic today. No, we didn't
dove in.
Yeah, we didn't got in. We didn't let people know. If y'all would like to know more about her, please give your Instagram real quick.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Jocelyn Knows Sports. You can also find me on TikTok, Jocelyn Knows Sports. And then if you're going to be professional with it, you can find me on LinkedIn as Jocelyn Thomas.
There you go. That jersey you got there is pretty nifty.
Thank you.
Go ahead and talk about it real quick.
So I was actually, I know you and I were kind of talking before the show of how I watch sports. So I work in sports every day. And to be honest, I'm a very much, I won't call myself a perfectionist, but I take pride in my craft. So when I'm working, regardless if it's sports, it's work.
Right.
So I'm not always engaged in the games and things that I'm working. So I actually spent a lot of time dissecting film, like almost like I'm an athlete still. So you can catch me any morning. I wake up at like 5 or 6 a.m. I'm still on in military time. You know, you can take the girl out the army, but you can't take the army out the girl, you know?
Still got to get up early.
I'm up
Still
early.
gotta get up
Left, right, left, you know? So I
Oh.
still get up pretty early, but I'm watching back film from every different level, whether it's collegiate, professional, and I spend a lot of time looking at the analytics of the different sports and players.
What do you look for when you're actually dissecting these films and everything?
So I like to, especially now, I like to look at the story of the player. Like, let's say I'll use Trevor Lawrence, for example. He had a crazy game last night. He had a play. I had to go back and look at the rule book to make sure it was legal. I ain't never known nobody to fall on the ground, get up, and rush and make a winning touchdown. It's crazy.
You know that I'll keep my NFL.
But the backstory for me with that is yesterday was his birthday. And he had never beat Patrick Mahomes on a Monday Night Football game. I think the Jaguars themselves were like 0-4. So I like to look at the stories of it, and then I like to see the performance of the person who needed to deliver. So he had an outstanding game, but I'm looking at more than just how much did he throw in the air, how much did he have on the ground, but he did have a phenomenal game.
He did have a phenomenal game.
He threw for a touchdown, he rushed for 2 touchdowns, so I'm paying attention to a little bit of it all.
Okay. So, got a quick question there for you real quick. I know some of the fans online, so I had an individual poll going on Free World Radio.
All right.
And we have some questions for you if you don't
Call
mind.
me Ken the Man, I got answers.
Hey, look, who would you pick as your starting quarterback out of these 2 selections?
Oh man, don't give me something crazy.
It's going to be crazy. Michael Vick
Okay.
or Peyton Manning?
That is actually really tough for me.
All right, this comes from one of my artists actually, and he was like, "You have the greatest scrambler, one of the greatest scramblers in NFL history, versus the king of pocket quarterback. Who do you have going as your starting quarterback?"
That's a tough one for me because, like, most people ain't going to admit this. I actually shed a tear when Peyton Manning won his last Super Bowl and retired, because that is how you're supposed to do it. That's how you walk off in the sunset. So I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan. But at the end of the day, when the day got to end and I got to pick somebody, I'm always riding with Michael Vick. You know it's Dirty Bird side die.
Hey, yeah, y'all know what time it is. Falcons fans.
I gotta go with Mike Vick.
All right.
I used to have some Mike Vicks back in the day.
Look, I saw him play one time, and that's all I need. I went all the way to Atlanta. I was a jet. We just gonna say I was a jet.
I feel you.
But I saw him break out the backfield, and that man ran for 75 yards.
He always did it like he wasn't even trying.
Man gets slaughtered. Oh my God. Is he gonna? He just gets up and shakes it.
Very durable. He was very durable. What Peyton Manning, I felt like, was one push away, from the hospital. He got injured a lot of
But his
times.
line was impenetrable.
I mean, I love him now.
Like
I don't think I trust anybody that don't like Peyton Manning, honestly.
like.
But I'm gonna have to still choose Mike Vick.
Okay. Hey. Randy Moss. You know who you already know who this is
Let me
about to
see.
go to. Julio Jones. And I
Oh,
understand.
y'all trying to
understand.
test my loyalty to the South.
I understand.
Y'all trying to pull my Southern card.
I understand Julio Jones is the original Falcon. We know that.
Not only that, he from Alabama.
Look, I didn't want to
Come
look.
on, man.
But we're talking about Vikings prime Randy Moss. Nobody catching over me, Randy Moss.
I mean, I love Julio Jones, obviously for the Alabama ties. He played for my two favorite teams, but you have a whole football play named after this guy. You got Moss. You got Moss. Like, he is the epitome of in your face.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to go with Randy Moss.
Okay. And this last one, you have. I personally don't agree with this. It's
I already know I'm set up now.
because it's the day long discussion, and I'm gonna tell you now, this one has nothing to do with football. So prepare yourself.
Okay, because I was like, if y'all bring up the Falcons Super Bowl laws, I might flip this
No.
rocket over here.
I'll have you know they did, and I canceled that one. So, because I refuse to be stressed out on my own
The
shit.
Falcons fans need reparations for those crimes.
I'm still trying to figure out how they blew it, but
Don't bring it up now, because I will flip them. I will flip them. Okay.
Who do you think is the second GOAT of the NBA? I'm not going to say the first GOAT because we all know who the original GOAT is. There is no question.
Okay.
I don't care what anybody else says. Michael Jordan will always
agree.
stand at the pinnacle because that man broke barriers and he paved the way for everybody else. Now, second place, Kobe Bryant, RIP, or LeBron James.
So I'm going to throw an audible here, and it's probably going to piss some of your fans off. My GOAT is Stephen Curry.
You know you got to come with some details. I'm not against it, but we're talking about you got to come with details.
I look at who had more impact on the game. Not to say that I love me some Kobe Jelly Bean Bryant, and I love LeBron James. But you could think of two athletes that came fresh out of high school that had the freak athletic talent that you always knew that they were going to be stars. Like, you always knew King James in high school. You always knew with those two.
You knew.
You didn't know what you was getting with Steph Curry. Steph Curry wasn't recruited heavily in college. He ended up being like a 7th or 8th number pick in the first round. When he went to, this is the craziest part of the story, people don't even really realize, when he went to Golden State Warriors, they were thinking about trading him for Monte Ellis, because Monte Ellis said that he wasn't good enough. He had weak ankles. He was underweight. But what did he do? He changed the game. How many times you seen people shooting threes from half court before Steph Curry?
You mean shooting fours?
How many times you seen people wearing Under Armour sneakers before Steph Curry? So I'm like, to me, he changed the game. He's won 4 championships.
Yeah. With the USA included.
He's the only player, probably besides Kobe, Tim Duncan, Dirk Nowitzki, that stayed loyal to one team. So even when they was doing bad, he was with them. When they was doing good, it was with them. They built the team around him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like, not to take anything from Kobe or LeBron, but I'm like, Steph literally changed the game. And I love an underdog story.
Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Oh, this is
He might go. You know, he might go.
You remember we were talking about the clip? This is that clip. This is that clip. Oh man.
But I made you think.
Yeah, no,
Because you got to think, those two young men, as great as they were, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, you always knew they were great. Steph Curry made himself a champion. Steph Curry made himself a household name.
He did. Okay.
And his story is more similar to Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan made himself a GOAT.
Michael, a lot of people don't understand. We were just talking about this in class today, actually. Michael did more than just make himself a GOAT. He made himself an icon.
Yeah.
Like he made himself, like when people, there's an old saying I heard on a movie once. Who that is? Mama. That man at the door. That, like, you ought when you talk basketball, you know who you're talking about. Like, there's, who's the great? Michael Jordan. Like, if you say anything other than that, you're going to be met with so much rebuttal. And it's not just on his. Now, one thing that did come up, nothing against you, Jordan. I understand. You got all that money and everything. But Jordan is not the most humble person. And I think that's what deteriorates from his legacy. Because as LeBron is building, you didn't. But at the end of the day, look at what you're doing now, and you're literally at the pinnacle compared to somebody that's beneath you, and they're doing so much.
You got to think too, like, we live in different times. I think people forget, like, when Jordan first came into the league, like, it wasn't about humility. It wasn't about social media. It wasn't about interacting with people. He was playing against, like, the toughest talent ever. For a while, LeBron was playing on a weak Eastern Conference where, like, it was him.
Talk about it.
And everyone else. And there's no shade to him. He's still a great player. And then you got to think with Kobe, again, R.I.P. Kobe, most people wouldn't separate him outside of Shaq. And then, like, just to put a little bit more funk onto this thing.
Please do.
Kobe and LeBron both wanted to emulate Michael Jordan. Steph literally did his own thing. Like, Jordan put Jordans on the map for Nike.
Absolutely.
Most popular shoe. What did Kobe and LeBron sign to? Nike. Steph made his own lane, his own brand. I got to pass 3 pairs Steph Curry's. Never in my life did I think I'd be wearing Under Armour shoes and rocking them.
That's you. Once again, you got a strong point. Like, oh man, see, but this is what we need, because there's too many yes men out there that's like, oh, all right, you right. No, debate me and come with facts.
I think everybody can have their own goal, right? Like,
of course.
What do you like? Like, Michael Jordan is undoubtedly the best basketball player that played. But I agree. Some of the things that LeBron has done off the court, I would give him a nudge. Like building schools. You might hear a little bit, but you never really hear any controversy about his family. Absolutely. Jordan's whole life was kind of like a soap opera, so.
I guess to defend Jordan in some aspect, like you said, though, different
times.
Because, I mean, we all know what Jordan had to go through. We all know. From the smallest inconvenience to not even almost being able to play in the league because he was a black man. So
that's why I said they're very different. I would still say he's the greatest basketball player of all time.
Absolutely.
Legacy-wise, I agree with you. He may not have the strongest case of a legacy. I think Magic Johnson don't get enough credit. He was the first billionaire from the NBA.
Listen. They talk about Magic in songs. I feel like this man should have I get he has statues and stuff like that, but I feel like when you take Jordan, hey, don't forget about I feel like he should be thrown in there as a
businessman. You look at Magic's investments, like he owned some of the Dodgers, some of the WNBA team, Lakers. Like he's
literally the role model for why most of the NBA players did not go spend all their money.
That's why I'm like, he don't get enough credit
Shaq
as a businessman. Shaq is smart. He just, he be having a lot.
He's Shaq. You bored. Yay, you're bored, all right? Come holler at me. I know what we could do. We could make a big party, DJ Diesel. Do the shoulder work.
He's a good businessman. He just,
Wow.
He got a lot. It's a lot going on there.
So, with the Alabama flag football team,
yes,
what all are you hoping to get out of this coverage, and what light do you want to bring to them?
So I was actually talking to a friend of mine when I was working on site last weekend that I don't really get excited a lot about things anymore because not like I'm ungrateful, I'm always grateful, but things become routine. I'm very, very passionate about this. If anybody has spoken to me like before I was making this public, I have been passionate about it for a while because these ladies are some amazing athletes. And flag football is, you hear me now, you see me? Mm-hmm. Flag football is going to be so big in the next 3 years on the men and women's side of it. because they're adding it as an Olympic event in 2028. And sadly, people don't really get on the bandwagon until everybody else is on the bandwagon. So mark my words, about 2027, late 2026, everybody is going to be big on flag football. But this is an amazing story to me because I first saw it actually on Twitter. What's Twitter called now?
X. Yeah.
Yeah, but I first saw it on there that Alabama State was going to be the first D1 collegiate women's flag football team. And I was like so proud but confused, right? I was confused like why they would give such a big honor to a HBCU, because there's no shade, but like we don't be getting highlights like that. They don't really
I
give
get
us.
what you mean.
They don't give us. We get the breadcrumbs, right?
There has to be something attached
so
to
like
that.
they giving us a slice. They ain't just giving us the breadcrumbs. And then, as I was speaking to you before, and a couple of people backstage, I had so many Alabama ties today, which is crazy to me. Alabama stand up, but. It's literally 10 minutes from where I grew up at the university.
Okay.
And so like that brings me a great amount of pride as well. So my hope is to shine a light on these young women, shine a light on women's flag football, shine a light on my home city, shine a light on HBCUs, and, you know, just let everybody know it's a different world. We're changing the game, but we're doing it her way. And I'm very excited.
I like what you
just to kind of.
I like what you just said there. That was nice.
Clock that T.
Clock it.
But I'm excited about it. I want to have a podcast. I'm going to interview players and coaches because I think it's important for them to tell their stories.
Absolutely.
Like, how did you get involved in this? Like, this is one young lady out there. I won't name drop her, but she's the first ever athlete to get a full ride scholarship for this women's flag football team in Alabama State. And I think that story within itself is unique.
That's dope.
You know, to let our young ladies know, like, you can do what you love, get an education for it, and get paid for it. Like, you don't have to choose it, you know, like, you know, change the game her way. And I think she is a remarkable story.
Nice.
And she's just one of many athletes that have stories like that. So I want to highlight everyone when I'm doing the podcast to kind of tell their own individual stories and how they got involved with flag football, because some of them have been playing their entire lives.
I can imagine.
Because like just because we just getting on to it doesn't mean that they're just getting on to it.
Right.
And then I want to actually cover the games.
Okay.
Like, you know, I'm not too good to be outside on the sideline. I actually love things like that. But I'm going to have a different approach, and I'm going to live stream it. I'm not going to just do your regular da-da-da, da-da-da. You know, I want it to be active and interactive, and I want people from my hometown, from my city to come out and not only support me because of me, but support these young ladies who are out there, like really putting in that grit and that grind. And we're going to make it fun. We're going to make it entertaining. But most importantly, we're going to make a difference. Like, you know, I can't just be out here doing anything.
Yeah, cannot just be out here wasting time.
Yeah.
If we're building bricks, it better build a house, and then we're going to sleep in there. I'm trying to tell you. What can the supporters, people looking at this video, what can they do to help you get to what you need to support these young ladies?
So really, and I appreciate that so much.
Course.
Really what I am asking for is support. Like, women's flag football in general is not getting a lot of coverage. And I'm going to be honest with you, these young ladies down at Alabama State aren't getting any coverage. Most of the time when I'm telling people the backstory of what I know about them and how I want to support them and how I want to highlight them, it's the first time they're ever even hearing it. So, you know, live stream us when we start to do the games. Follow me on Jocelyn Knows Sports. Follow Bama, Bama WFF. That means Bama Women's Flag Football.
We'll put
on
them
social
in the
media.
description as well.
Yes, you know, I think if nothing else, they just kind of need people to show up for them.
Okay.
Right? Because no one pays attention to something until everyone else does. So right now, they don't have an audience. They don't have a following. But that doesn't mean that they don't have talent. That doesn't mean that they don't have charisma. And I think the games are a lot more entertaining than people give it credit for.
So we are going to be on the lookout for that. We're definitely, any videos or anything you have, please send us.
I will.
And we will broadcast that
Season
to our
is this winter, so you got some time to kind of get it together.
And it's the perfect season.
Yes, and I love that it's kind of after the Super Bowl when their games started to happen, so you don't really have to compete with.
There's no excuses. There's no excuse.
Yes, you don't have to compete with the men's collegiate football schedule. You don't have to compete with the professional football schedule. It's around that time frame where, hey, you should be watching basketball, but if you're a football fan,
And
show up.
y'all better not say golf. I do not want to hear any of y'all
Hey, I
talking.
like to play golf a little bit.
I like
man.
to
Not
play.
too much.
Look, I like to
Not
play
too much.
golf. You want me to watch 16 holes? Oh, I can't do it. I can't.
That ain't your thing.
And no, I can play it now. You know, we out there talking. You know,
But you
whatever.
can't watch it. It is lengthy.
Oh,
It is lengthy.
no, I can't do that. Well, is there anything else we need to know about this great Alabama State flag football team that you would like to disclose to everybody?
Just be on the lookout. Probably this fall, you'll see me getting into a real heavy. I mean, technically it's fall now, but early fall. But probably in the next month or so, you'll see me heavy on it. Like, I don't want people to wait to start watching and supporting these young ladies until the season starts. Let's get some build up. Let's get some gear. Like,
There you go.
it's a football team. You know, we support football teams in any other way. Why not do it this way? And I honestly think flag football is a safer alternative to tackle. Not saying get rid of tackle football, but I've just seen a lot of injuries too. So I like the fact that we're having healthier alternatives.
When a grown man cannot make a left turn because he got hit so hard trying to truck stick somebody and now has to have assisted living for the rest of his life, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And it's all for the entertainment of who?
others.
You know what I'm saying? So like you said, I get it. Cool. But I do believe that there is some practices that need to be they need to be reevaluated.
I can see that.
Because there's no reason why someone should go out there. You know, everybody loves football to some form and extent, but like to fear that if I get hit and it'll change my life, that's life changing.
Yeah,
And
I
that
agree.
affects their performance as well, because nobody's going to give it their all if they know that, oh, Jimbo's going to come around the corner and hit me in my, you know, he's going to tackle me, but as soon as he tackles me, my disc is going to slip. And that's my career. Now I got to get a
Most of
regular.
your life, because a lot of these athletes don't have a backup plan.
No.
So yeah,
And
I
that is the
agree.
scarier part about it. Only a couple of
Another
them.
reason to watch flag football. And a lot of people don't know, but a lot of the pro football players actually put in a petition because they want to participate in the Olympic Games and they want to be on the flag football team. Now, I don't want them taking away slots from actual flag football players, but
I think that would be interesting, though, to pick like half a team full of professionals.
if nothing else, it shines a light. That's what I like. Because I may not go and watch Bobby that plays down from Washington on the flag football team, but I probably would watch Patrick Mahomes on that flag football team.
And he's throwing to Bobby, who is from, who you said, Washington?
Washington.
He's from Washington. He's been playing flag football 10 years. Literally has over 80 touchdowns in the season.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
And it's crazy as it sounds, just using that person's name. I'm using Patrick Mahomes just as, I don't know if he would play in the Olympics, but probably, yeah, because a lot of NFL players, they've never got a chance to compete at the Olympics, and this is the only time they ever get to do it.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But they're shining a light on the other men's flag football team. They're shining a light on the women's flag football team.
Absolutely.
So just because people buying a ticket to see Patrick Mahomes don't mean that my coin, your coin, his coin don't benefit from that name. And so you got to do what you got to do.
I wish a lot more people had that mindset. Oh, man, just because you're bigger than me does not mean I still cannot grow. I just need you around. Like, I don't care. You know, it's the same thing with music. Like, I deal with a lot of artists, you know. It's an ego thing. Like,
It
oh,
is.
this person, you know, they may sell more. They may have bigger shows. But if they want you to be a part of the show, obviously they're trying to grow with you.
Yeah.
They know that your crowd is big enough for their crowd to enjoy.
That's another topic for
That
another
is-
day. But it's a lot of times that people don't understand how to just take a back seat. Like, just because it's not the spotlight isn't shining on you in the way that you think it should be or want it to be in that time doesn't mean that your role in that person's life or that event or whatever isn't important. You know, we all have to play our position. And everybody isn't meant to always be in the spotlight. And sometimes it might be your day to be in the spotlight. Some days it may be my day to be in the spotlight, but I'm gonna shine on my friends. Don't get me to preach. You got a collection plate.
Order in the courtroom. Order in the courtroom. No, it's about that time. I have to let you do your shout outs. Order in the courtroom. You can't say that kind of stuff on here. That's empowering. And we will, and that means people will start getting encouraged to do their own thing. It ain't like we don't tell them. It's just they don't listen.
They don't want to hear.
They don't want to listen. You can lead what they say. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
You can't make them drink.
Which is crazy because horses know not to drink from poisonous water. But that's a different subject. That's a different subject. All right. I love this episode. I need you to give your shout outs to any and everybody that you would love to give a shout out to.
I always do bad with this because I forget somebody. So I'm gonna give a shout out to Montgomery, Alabama. I'm Montgomery born and raised. I have taken some breaks from it, but it's always a part of who I am. Nice. And it's very much a part of why I'm so passionate about this project that I'm working. So all my family, all my friends, anyone that is around in that area, shout out to you. You made me who I am, and I am so grateful, so thankful, and so humbled to be a Montgomery, Alabama native.
I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. And with that, everybody, that is today's show. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little old. Gotta wiggle up.
I thought you was expecting me to dance.
Hey, PJ, you got a cool song you can play real quick?
I ain't got it in me.
Hey, no? All right, fine. Thank you for
having me.
Oh, wait. The magical voice in my ear said, hold up.
Uh-oh.
Ah, yeah. Well, Okay. I'll stall for time. Well, thank you for coming on our show. Thank you for putting a spotlight on those wonderful women.
They playing that Cardi B. I don't think I know how to act with it. Cardi.
You know what? That's another conversation. We're gonna get in a whole other conversation. Thank y'all for joining us on Free World Radio. If you would like your interview on Free World Radio, contact me. We might take a little break for the rest of October because Malcolm has a lot of things to get done off his plate. But in November, we're coming back high strong. We're also introducing our Inner Space studio program. Okay. If you are an artist and you would like to record and you can't just find your studio home, get in contact with me. I got the best engineers in the city and we're making hits every single day. You know, I would say this is where I put my number on the bottom of the screen, but that's a lot, okay? And we don't have the funding right now. But y'all don't know that. Y'all don't know that. Catch you next time on Free World Radio. Until next time, stay blessed. And remember, brick by brick, you're still building a house. Unless you have a sledgehammer. And then you can't build anything with a sledgehammer. Peace out.